10 things to do before you come to study in Scotland. The first video got a few likes, so here we go. The information shared in this video is from my own experience, so it won't apply to everyone. Learn how to cook. It was shocking at first to see so many students ordering food or going out for lunch or dinner every other day, as that is expensive, at least compared to cooking food yourself. Just learn how to cook a basic meal and bring hard plastic containers to store extra food. Even if you can afford to order food regularly, that will most likely make you sick. Bring non-stick, flat-bottom utensils. Don't bring cooking utensils with round bottoms. It will take up unnecessary weight in your flight baggage allowance and you won't be able to use them here. These are induction stoves called hobs. They are better as they run on electricity and are much more efficient compared to stoves that use liquefied petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, or biogas. It can be hard to adapt to a new type of utensil, but you will have to manage. I miss cooking in these. Also, bring a metallic ladle if you prefer using those. Also bring socket adapters. This is the standard socket used in the United Kingdom. Learn how to use the microwave and the oven. I know most people already know, but I can only speak from my own experience. I knew how to cook before I came here, learned how to operate the microwave after I arrived, still haven't learned how to use the oven. Anyway, if you can get access to any of these before you arrive, learn the basics. The food you eat should be warm, to contrast with the Scottish climate. Be aware of the Scottish climate. It is common knowledge that Scotland is rainy, but what is often overlooked is how windy it can be. Sure, you will get wet, but it is the wind that sends the chill deep to the bones. On some days, the wind can move you off course while you are walking outdoors. Countermeasures need to be taken, such as having your own umbrella, a strong wind-resistant one. Weaker umbrellas that are used in the tropics to block the scorching sunlight won't survive Scottish winds. I bought a waterproof and windproof jacket after I arrived in Scotland, as I cycle a lot and need both hands on the handle. Also, you will need a good pair of shoes. I mean shoes meant for walking on snow or mud without slipping. Having waterproof gloves are also a good idea, although I have survived a winter without any. You will definitely need waterproof gloves if
you wanna build a snowman.
Speaking of snow. Snow in Scotland. If you are from a region where it doesn't snow and you are excited to experience natural snow in Scotland, lower your expectations. In my 2.5 decades in India, I have experienced thunderstorms and hails, and I was looking forward to snow in Scotland. I spent the entire winter of 2021 in Glasgow and it snowed only once. Well, it snowed a couple dozen times probably. So why did I say that it only snowed once? Because only once the snow took about a day to melt. It started to snow after midnight, and instead of sleeping, I walked around my university. And I wasn't the only one, as I saw many foreign students and a few Scottish people outdoors who came out to enjoy what is most likely the only proper snowfall of the year. There was enough snow to make snowmen, whereas the other times it snowed, the snow either melted when it hit the ground or within a couple of hours. I am positive that climate change played a part, so manage your expectations, as climate change can be unpredictable. You might get week-long snowstorms, who knows? Manage your finances. Before arriving in Scotland, you need to arrange your finances. Plan for a way to transfer money once you arrive in the UK, so that you can just open a bank account and forward the account information to someone in your home country, and the transfer will be done within a week. Apply for a multi-currency travel card. It will be called something similar depending on your home country. In India, it is known as a Forex card. Apply for one, convert some amount from your home currency to Great British Pound, and transfer it into the travel card. Approximately £1,000 should be good. Also carry a bit of cash. £200 should be enough. You will need these for daily use till you set up your Scottish bank account and can get money transferred directly to that account. Again, know your entire financial plan before you leave your home country, and keep a record of relevant account numbers, relevant contact information of people who will be responsible for making the transfers, relevant dates for any student loans, etc. Usually the first installment of college tuition and first installment of rent is due before you arrive in the country. So set reminders on your phone or alarm clock so that you don't miss the due date, as you will have to pay late fines. Being from India and with the currency exchange rate between pounds and rupees, late fines in Scotland are enough to bankrupt me. Here are the approximate rates on the screen. Keep the time zone difference in mind, and Scottish banks don't operate on Saturdays and Sundays. So money transferred on Friday may be received on a Monday. Having all the financial due dates noted down will help a lot. Learn the language. This seems like a common sense, right? But I am putting it on this list for a reason. Even though the Scottish language is Scots, almost everyone communicates in English. There are many accents within the UK, varying by the specific regions. Familiarize yourself with the Scottish accent, specifically the Glaswegian accent, if you will be staying in Glasgow. Get to know some Scottish words, like "wee" means small. If I had made this list when I arrived in Glasgow, this would not have been included in the list. But after almost a year, I have to include this because I have observed many foreign students fail to integrate and communicate with the local Scottish people. As I work part-time, I have found the ability to communicate easily really helps you work effectively. The other residents in Scotland, apart from Scottish, can be English, Irish, Welsh, American, or one of the many European nationalities. Many foreign students form groups that include students from the same country and avoid learning more about a different culture and tend to get frustrated when they have trouble communicating. And expecting the locals to adapt to you is adorably unreasonable at best and childishly arrogant at worst. So be patient and be ready to ask them to speak slower. Update your context. Again, this also looks like common sense, but let me explain. I am mentioning this because of the numerous examples I have heard of. Forget about Scottish culture and Scottish people for now. I covered that in point 7. Point 8 concerns foreign students. Now, even I experienced this a few times and I am not even that social. Every foreign student has their own context they have been living in. Take me for example. I grew up in an Indian context, specifically the Assamese context. I know how the general Assamese classmate behaves and what are the accepted social customs in Assam. But once I arrived in Glasgow, my Assamese context was locked away, to be unlocked later on the day when I returned home. I am specifically mentioning Assam because India is a big country with a large population. All Indians don't behave the same, as Indians have different cultures and languages, leading them to have different contexts. Now, apply the same to the multinational student community in Glasgow and imagine the possibility of misinterpretation and misunderstanding, ultimately leading to time waste. Once a fellow student took offense to something I said, as they thought I was mocking or disrespecting them as I did something which was considered wrong in their country, even though they knew that I have never been to their country. And even though it ended with a mutual recognition of the misunderstanding, I can't get back the time wasted in an unnecessary conversation. So, be aware of these pitfalls within a diverse student community and please ask questions before jumping to conclusions. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by that? Again, this is just my own experience and might not be that big of a problem. Enjoy your regional niceties. You may be away from home for about a year, so enjoy the local things which might not be possible in the United Kingdom. If you have friends, meet them and have a party maybe. Activities and local delicacies of your region won't be easily available in Scotland. I miss a few things, mainly food and drinks. As a side note, even if you can find the food of your country, it won't be the same. I bought mangoes and they did look like mangoes. That's about it. I know a lot of Indian restaurants in Glasgow, but the food, even though it is Indian, it tastes different. Nothing is spicy. Even the raw chilies lack the heat. Being from Assam, I grew up around some of the hottest chilies, and I miss that too. And finally, get ready for culture shock. I suggest expect a lot of culture shock, then whatever you experience won't be that shocking. So this doesn't apply to me, but it may be shocking to know how much British people love tea. Many cultures are not used to the constant presence of tea everywhere. After the British faced problems in importing tea from China, they had to import tea from Northeast India, which was a colony under the British Empire at the time. So yes, I brought tea from India, but that ran out in my first week here. Since then, I have adapted to an easily found brand. Also, be aware of names which are phonetically inconsistent. This is a big problem for people who are new to the region. Check this out: Greenwich, Leicester, Edinburgh, Leicester. These pronunciations are new to me, so I may have mispronounced some of them. People sometimes ask how when they mean to ask why. Lunch may be called dinner and dinner may be called tea. You can get lost in Scotland only to discover that you are in lost. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful and informative. Thank you for watching.